interesting. Now, there's nothing interesting here. And anyway, there's half of theirs around that area. It's the fucking military fascists who own most of the fucking southwest, showing off in their antique Land Rovers, etc. Anyway, this is the only interesting thing here actually. My winter coat, I'm embarrassed about it. It looks like I'm one of them. This was purchased only, God, is it 2021? I think, yes, that summer. Because the only woman who didn't just give as good as she got, she started it. The magnificent Lynn of Pristine, even though not perfect. God, she's vicious. I'm gonna put the price up for you. Didn't know me, but I dared to just tell her how wonderful she was for her age. Anyway, the barter went on about 2 months. It's not that I gave in. She earned it. And third income at £30. I've never purchased anything. I haven't purchased anything more than £5 for, oh, God, at least 15 years. Anyway, to the point. Yes, I've met one of the original ones, the original homespunners, and we've been for a walk. Randomly. So interesting. Yeah, she said literally. And I've no interest in this area. The only reason I'm interested in this area is why 20 years ago, a few of them just started to creep into Western Herefordshire. The Trustafarians of Totnes. Well, they're not from Totnes, but it's like if you meet somebody, and I've got somebody specific in mind, even though she's universal, who spent 8 years in Brighton and then 8 years in Glastonbury, despite having a small farm, you know that this is going to be the number one dangerous chaos merchant in the world. But if you've met somebody who spent time in Totnes, you just know they're infected. And it's what are they infected with? Because it's such a small place, they wouldn't really admit to having had much to do with Totnes. But as the first of the Transition Town cult came to our area 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, or maybe 19. Phoebe. You just knew. This ain't going to end well. And I was correct. Neither Friends of the Earth nor Transition Town existed 5 years later because they won't cooperate. But this came from Totnes. I think then 20 years ago, if you said to friends, well, yes, I did. If you said to your Friends of the Earth handler, listen, can we team up with the trannies? Because there's 4 of them, Bob, Phoebe, and a couple of others, just as fucking crazy and dodgy. And then there's 4 of us. Not 4.5, 5, including my daughter, founder member. Friends of the Earth would say, of course, you do. Then they would have said, do whatever you've got to do. There's a critical mass. You've got to get enough people to come to your meetings, you know. Never mind suggesting to Transition Town Phoebe. And we could car share. That means if we had a shared meeting, we could actually do car sharing, which is pro the environment. Phoebe, I've got to go and consult with him back in Totty Central. You just knew it a week later. Oh, he says no. You know, he says he's saving the world his own way. Now, because of that, roughly 5 years later, neither organisation existed. You know, this is the kind of zealot, fanatical, narcissistic crap that has destroyed the environmental movement. But it's done more than that. Anyway, she was great. She was kind of honest. But you see, here's the thing. Yeah, I know she was speaking truthfully. I could tell by what she was wearing. That when she arrived in this region, there were only 10. She literally said there were 10 couples like her and her husband. Wholesome alternative before that word was co-opted. And I said to her, I was lucky enough in the late 70s. We had a few. Well, there was one guy about 3 farms up, one of the original real hippies, just the very last traces of them, and they were truly wonderful. And we grew out of magic mushrooms when we were about 18. But yeah, but this is the thing. Now, she knew exactly what I was talking about. And I can't say any more to identify because it's so fucking bitchy. It's just so ridiculously bitchy around here. She knew exactly what I was talking about. But it's this thing of even the ones, we used to say sorted. They got a real perspective on life, genuine. She's had to sell out to and she agreed that this new, it's been around 5 to 10 years, this kind of new fascists speak of the younger, the 30 to 40-year-old who would be forest school leaders and one-to-one care assistants or helpers or mentors or tutors to the younger people in a bit of a mess. Their fascist speak is terrible. It doesn't work. And she agreed. But so there's no hope. There is literally no hope. But it all emanates from over there. And the interesting thing is, I thought it had been going on longer, but she confirmed. Not really. It's a newish phenomenon. So in that vein, it should be stopped. Because like me, she's raised children in proper country modes. Theirs isn't. Oops.